trying to adopt a new philosophy and make it part of the culture, I think a leader has to evaluate and be successful at knowing when to push and when not to push. In other words, in my position as a superintendent, I had a lot of politics to deal with. A board of trustees, a community, staff, who at various times were at odds. And so I think as a leader, one of the things I had to do was to determine when to press forward and when to back off a little bit. So what the diagram that Monta was talking about talks about is sometimes there are big changes you can make that are good, but they will cause such dysfunction that they won't be successful. So they're really not worth making the change because it will destroy what you're trying to do. So you have to identify those things that will make an impact in changing the system and yet won't cause such turmoil that they can't be successful. So I think one of the roles of a leader is to determine what are those things that are high impact, that don't have a lot of resistance, that will carry your organization forward and transform the culture in the process. And sometimes that's very difficult to do. David talks about grading in a lot of cases. And at one time, we talked about the possibility of doing away with grades to a degree. That is something that is anathema to people in our culture here. And if we had gone forward in trying to do that, we probably would have been stopped dead in our tracks by the politics of the situation. So we backed away from that and looked at how maybe we could get students more involved in understanding grading and doing grading on their own, helping each other evaluate and improve along the way, while still keeping the grade at the end, so that we made an impact on how students view grading and go about the process. And yet we didn't create such a firestorm that everybody said, no, we're not doing that anymore. You all leave and we'll bring some new people in. So I think it's incumbent upon a leader to understand what are those things that are going to be high impact and low resistance. And those are the things that I want to promote in order to further the transformation of the organization.